Good morning. My name is Terry, and this may be a little bit, indulge me just a minute, it might be a little bit inappropriate. I've been inappropriate before, so this will be nothing new. This is about my journey to partial spiritual enlightenment. And it culminates in WW and WW Connect and my journey to wellness and wholeness, body, mind, and spirit. And I'm going to confess something to you that's a little bit embarrassing. It's partial spiritual enlightenment because I'm 60 and it's taken me a long time. I remember during the O.J. Simpson acquittal, I was at work and a friend of mine, she's an African-American woman, we're friends, our kids hung out, we went places, we did things, it was her and me, And I didn't think about us having separate experiences, and that's embarrassing because when O.J. was acquitted, I started crying. And my friend, she didn't seem upset. And I said, this is terrible. What just happened? And she looked at me and I said, he killed 2 people. And she goes, mm-hmm. And I said, and she looks at me and she goes, how does injustice feel? And I remember like light bulbs going on in my head. I said, I don't get it. She goes, I know you don't. She said, because we live in different worlds, you and I. And your child could be stopped driving a car and let go, and my son could be stopped driving a car doing nothing, and it's going to be a completely different experience. She goes, you have no idea what it's like to suffer injustices. I grew up as a privileged, blonde, green-eyed girl in Palm Beach. I went to private schools. We had a boat in the backyard on the Intracoastal up and down. I lived this life, and I didn't understand that not everyone lives that life. That you're not just automatically cut a break. That you're. I think the challenge of being privileged is you don't know how privileged you are, and that's embarrassing. But I'm just admitting that. I was a single mom, and I lived in this really nice neighborhood. And when I went to apply for that particular condo unit in this lovely neighborhood, I didn't actually have a job at that time, but the landlord liked me, and I said, I'm my husband and the thing, and I moved in. And a friend of mine said, oh, I always wanted to live in that complex. And she was African American. She goes, but nobody'd ever let me in. And now with that particular thing came a better school system, a school system that had more resources to it. So all this time, I'm 60 now, and it's been kind of a journey to my partial spiritual enlightenment. And a couple of years ago, it sort of culminated because I'm a grandma, and I wanted to create this better world for my grandkids to live in. And so this friend of mine, Christina Connors, and I've talked about this before, this metaphor for our own internal spiritual journey, and we kept talking about what do we want to do with this. And so my sister and I decided we were going to write a series of books of all these different places: the Field of Forgiveness, Mindful Mountain, the River of Resilience. And we decided, because of what was going on in the world 2 years ago and now, to make the first book about Diversity University. And I approached this beautiful group of people at the local mosque, and this amazing little girl, we collaborated. It was me, my sister, and this little girl, and we took our shared experiences, and 2 privileged old white grandmas and this beautiful young girl who understood not only religious persecution but racism, and we came up with this. And I'm not trying to sell you a book. In fact, I don't want you. This is not about the book. I just want to read one thing of it. Rounding a corner such a sight they did see, children sharing and playing and laughing with glee, kids of all faiths and color of skin, yet treating each other like they were kin. That sort of, so this is part of the spiritual journey. And I don't want to sell you a book. I'm not even going to tell you the name of the book. What I want to get to is the idea that separation is an illusion. And WW Connect, one of the things that has been so powerful is that we're all on this journey together. And when we separate ourselves from our struggles and our shared humanity is where we end up in the challenges that we have this morning. This morning is a very, very difficult morning in this country, and it's not the first time, And it won't be the last time until we get to the point where we understand that we are one. When it's us people and those people, whoever those people are the people that are not us people. It's not those people and us people, it's all us people. And WW has done a really good job with this Connect site of sharing, coming from different backgrounds and culture and different places on our journey, body, mind, and spirit. And I'm just wondering if we can't take that WW Connect model and somehow make it bigger and do a better job of understanding that we are, separation is an illusion. I know this is kind of, I usually talk about how much Prosecco I drank and stuff like that, but I see no humor this morning. I see that we need to do a better job as a global nation. And I'm sorry if this is if this is inappropriate on the WW site, but this is part of our spiritual journey, and we are interconnected. And yeah, so I'm going to put some action today into my words, because it's one thing to think about losing weight or dreaming or wishing, but we have to do something. And when it comes to racial justice, we have to do something, especially the privileged old white ladies. I need to do something, because I don't know what to do, but I got to do something. Love you.